Good morning, class. I'm really glad to be here today. And I was wondering, how many of you play video games? Great, great. I was wondering if you could help me out today because I don't know a whole lot about video games. And how many of you have heard of Mario Kart? Yeah, Marcus, you could bring that lunch. That's okay. We don't have to play right now. So if we had a situation like this in Mario Kart, I'm kind of wondering how you could make sense of this. Suppose Mario Kart can drive 4 laps in 2 minutes, and Mario and Luigi can drive 9 laps in 3 minutes. I'm kind of wondering how many laps they can drive in 12 minutes. So that's kind of where my head is at. I'm trying to make sense of this game, and maybe you can help me out. So already you guys are in your groups, and I've got in Google Classrooms your groups are already assigned, and this Google slide is there. So I'd like you to work in your groups and kind of fill out some information in your teams. How many laps do you think Mario will drive in 12 minutes? And how many laps do you think Luigi will drive in 12 minutes? And then we'll talk about it and see how that goes. Okay? Go. All right. Come on back. Thank you. So the question here that I'm trying to figure out is how many laps they'll drive in 12 minutes? And I'm kind of curious what you guys came up with. So I'm going to take a look on the computer here to see what you all said. So 2 groups said 14 laps in 12 minutes. So I'll put it right here. 14 laps in 12 minutes for Mario. And let's see here. 18 laps in 12 minutes for Luigi. Let's take a look at that. How do you think they got that? How do you think this group came up with those answers? 14 and 18. Let's look at these numbers here. Well, let's see. Let me write down everybody else's answers as well so we can compare. I see that group 2 came up with, interesting, 36 laps for 12 minutes for Mario, and 24 laps for Mario, and 36 laps for 12 minutes for Luigi. And let's get one more group up there if we can. I see that, 12 minutes, 8 laps for 12 minutes. Let me see if I can put that somewhere. How about right here? 8 laps for 12 minutes for Mario, and 27 laps for 12 minutes for Luigi. This is very interesting. We got different groups saying different things. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Let's start right here. How do you think they got 8? Based on the numbers that we started with. They got 4 laps in 2 minutes, and they ended up with 8 laps in 12 minutes. Interesting. And then 9 and 3, and they came up with 27. What do you guys think? That's right. I think that's correct. I think that they were multiplying. 4 times 2, 9 times 3, that makes sense how they got 27. Now, let's see if that makes sense. Let's kind of think about that a little bit. If it's 4 laps in 2 minutes, if I just doubled that to 4 minutes, so it's 4 laps in 2 minutes, and I doubled it, how many laps do you think that would be? Right? 8 minutes. That makes sense. If I doubled this and I doubled this, it's 8 minutes. So here they said 8 laps. 8 laps in 12 minutes, but if I doubled it, I get 8 laps in 4 minutes. And it makes sense that if I doubled everything, it should be 8 and 4. So I think what we're seeing here is you're multiplying the 4 and the 2. You should multiply the 4 and the 2 by the same amount, not to each other. And that probably is where the thinking kind of went wrong. And you can check it again, right? If I tripled it, made it 3 times, this would be 12 laps, this would be 6 minutes. And that would not make sense over here. And I double that again, then I have 24 laps in 12 minutes. So let's take this off the table or off the board and see where we can go with it. We have 2 more answers here. Let's see what's going on. We've got 14 laps in 12 minutes. How did they get that? Where do you think that came from? And 18 laps in 12 minutes. Where did those answers come from? What do you think? What do you guys think? Right. So it seems like what they were doing with these numbers here is maybe they added, right? So they added 10 to the 2 and got 12, and they added 10 to the 4. And let's see if they did the same thing here. They added 9 to the 3 to make 12, and then 9 plus 9 makes 18. So let's see if that makes sense. If, again, I go to the 9 laps in 3 minutes, and I doubled it. I just doubled it, right? So it's 6 minutes now. What would that be? 18 laps, right? If I double this and double this, that's 18 laps in 6 minutes. But they said 18 laps in 12 minutes. So obviously, this doesn't make sense. Adding 9 minutes does not make sense. Just because if you double it, the number would double, so that it would be 18 and 6, not 18 and 12. So maybe this is not accurate. Let's take a look at this last one right here. How do you think they got that answer? So we went from 4 laps in 2 minutes. So maybe let's do it this way. I'm going to draw it like this. 4 laps, and I'll just use this diagram. And this is lap, 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 and lap. So that's 4 laps. And that took 2 minutes. And that's a minute, and that's a minute. What would it be if I had 12 minutes? I would have more of these laps and more of these minutes. So I want to get up to 12 minutes. How would I do that? I have to make more sets of this. So on your sheets, on your scratch paper, maybe you can sketch it out just to see what it looks like. Go ahead. I'll give you 2 minutes. All right, come on back. Great job. What did you guys come up with? Instead of 4 laps in 2 minutes, we want 12 minutes. So we need more of these, more sets of these, right? And if we did that, we're essentially multiplying by 2 minutes to make 12. How do we get from 2 to 12? We have to multiply by 6. So we have 6 of these. 6 sets of those makes 24 laps. Excellent. And if I did the same thing for the 3 minutes, you can draw it yourself. I don't have room to write 9 laps. You guys do that. 9 laps until, oh, yes. Excellent. Thank you, Daniel. That's a great shortcut. You can just multiply. Excellent idea. Did you guys hear what Daniel said? Great idea. You can go ahead, instead of drawing the diagram, just use the numbers. 9 and 3, you can write it like this. Is that how you did it? 9 laps, 3 minutes. And you want to multiply by some number to make it 12 minutes, and that's what? 4. So times 4 makes 12 minutes. Times 4 makes 36 laps, and there we go. Excellent. What I'd like you to do now is to try doing the same problem with some different numbers. What do you think it'll be in 15 minutes? Go ahead, take 5 minutes, work on your team, go to your Google slide and fill that out, and we'll come back. Great job. Come on back, guys. So we are now looking at 15 minutes. How did you guys do it this time? Because we still have the same situation, 4 laps in 2 minutes, 9 laps in 3 minutes. What did you guys do? Can you share out some of the approaches you had? Excellent. Thank you so much. So you looked at this and you said how much it would be in 1 minute, and then you just figured it out from there, right? Kind of like in this diagram here, you notice that if it's 4 laps in 2 minutes, then it's going to be 2 laps in 1 minute. That makes perfect sense, right? And then for 15, you just multiply by 15. Great job. Does that make sense? Thank you. And if you did the same thing here, 9 laps in 3 minutes, what would it be per minute, right? Is that what you guys did? Perfect, because that's exactly the next question. What is their rate per minute? In 1 minute, what will they each travel? Go ahead, take a couple of minutes, fill that out in your Google slide. Great, come on back. Excellent work here. So you guys came up with, let me just double check. Yes, you said 2 laps per minute for Mario and 3 laps per minute for Luigi. Excellent work. So now I want you to try something. Now you have this idea in your head. I want you to try something before we go too far. But let's just answer this quick question here to make sure you're on the right track. If we have this situation, who's going faster? Who is going faster, Mario or Luigi? And you could use your diagram. You could use whatever representation you want. That's right. Excellent. It is Luigi because his speed is 3 laps per 1 minute. So every minute he can go 3 laps. Mario can only go 2 laps in 1 minute. Excellent comparison. So right now, I'd like you guys to log in on your computers to student.desmos.com and type in this code. This screen here, right? This is what you guys have been working on. And we've introduced a third character, Yoshi, right? That's a character in Mario Kart. And you guys already did this by filling out the table using the graph to help you out. So what I want to do now is to scroll and see what you guys came up with. What are some of the answers that you came up with? Okay, I see that Carlos, Lucinda, Sam, Mary, you guys filled out your tables. Great. Let's see what your answers came out to be. So how many laps will each racer drive in 4 minutes? And I see a lot of you wrote 842, 8 laps for Mario, 4 laps for Luigi, and 2 laps for Yoshi in 4 minutes. Let's take a look here. 842, 842, it's a very common answer. Yep, a lot of people got 842. Good, good. Oh, look, Chris got 248. Interesting. Let's take a look and see what might be the reason why Chris got 248. We're looking at the graph, and for Mario, we can see that in 4 minutes, Mario's graph is here at 8. And Luigi at 4 minutes is at 4 laps. And for Yoshi is at 2 minutes. So what it looks like Chris might have done was reversed Mario and Yoshi, right? That got the 2 numbers mixed up. Common error. When we're reading, sometimes we make that mistake. It's not a big deal, but I think you got the right numbers because you're looking at the graph correctly, and that's excellent that you're able to see that. So let's go on to the next screen and see what you guys have come up with there. In this particular screen, we're looking now at what your answers are for how you found the speed. And I'm noticing that some people looked at the graph and some people looked at the table based on when the time is 1 minute. So you were using the unit rate, which is great because that connects back to what you guys did back in middle school, if you remember that. So excellent use of connections there. Great, good work. All right, I see that you guys have pretty much found the unit rate, which is the speed from the table and of course from the graph. So in screen 3, I'm noticing that a lot of you are graphing. Yes, you got it to 10 laps, and you were seeing what the time is for 10 laps. Let's go on and see what you guys came up with. Okay, so in this screen, which is very common, I see a lot of you doing this, you said Mario's speed is 5 laps per minute, and the equation you wrote y equals 5x. Interesting. And then, of course, you know you were correct because your equation matches the line on the graph. So we know that this is correct. What's the connection here? How are these two related to each other? The speed of Mario and the equation. Yes, exactly. This number is this number. So now, what do you think? How do we know what the speed is from the equation? Where does that number show up? Let's look at another one and see if that's true. So for Luigi, it's 2 laps per minute. Where does that 2 show up? Exactly. So this number is this number. And this number tells you how fast Luigi's going. And when you look at the equation, this is how you can tell how fast Luigi is going. Let's check one more time. Yoshi. Yoshi's going 1 lap per minute. And we know it's correct because the graph is correct. And there's the 1 again. So I think it's safe for us to conclude that the speed of Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi is the number that you put in the equation right there. So I'm going to give you a chance to show me that you got this with an exit ticket, and then we'll finish the class after that. And here's the exit ticket. I'm giving you 3 representations, one for Mario, one for Luigi, and one for Yoshi, and I'd like you to figure out, based on the representation, their speed. How fast is each person going? Go ahead and go back to your Chromebooks and complete this in your Google slide. Okay, great. Thank you so much. You guys, you helped me learn a few things about Mario Kart, and I hope you learned a few things about the representations of speed, particularly in different representations like tables, graphs, and equations. All right, look forward to seeing you next time.